Eric Dane agreed to a final interview on one condition. It wouldn't be released until after he died. And in the last moments, the interviewer steps away so Dane can look straight into the camera and leave a message meant for just two people, his daughters. If that doesn't chill you, listen closer. Because the way this was filmed, held back, and then dropped into the world raises a question Hollywood hates. Who controls the last word? Him or the machine around him? Tonight, we're not doing gossip, we're doing verification. We're treating this like evidence. What was said, where it appeared, and why the release itself feels like part of the story. If you want celebrity coverage that actually follows the trail, subscribe. And as you watch, ask yourself one thing. If someone told you your final words would be public, what would you protect? And what would you hide? For years, Eric Dane's public image was built on presence, confidence, charm, the kind of on-screen ease that made you assume the man behind it was unbreakable. Big shows, big premieres, a career that moved fast and loud. But the truth is, the public version of a person is a negotiated product. Press days are controlled, questions are routed, answers get smoothed into something safe. And that's why this last interview matters. Not because it's sensational, because it's structurally different. It's framed as his final statement, released after his death when no follow-up questions can be asked. No corrections, no second take, just a record. Life looked stable from the outside, but in the shadows, a clock was already ticking. Layer 1 is the official story. A famous actor sits for a deeply personal Netflix interview, reflecting on his life, his illness, and the people he loves. Then the episode is released after he passes, a memorial in real time. But wait, look closer at the mechanism. Why posthumous? Why the condition of delay? What did he gain by waiting? And what did everyone else gain? Attention reset. This next part is critical. In reporting around the episode, it's described as being filmed in secret and held back until after his death. That means the footage existed while he was alive, but the public didn't get to see it. So where did it live? Who had access? Who decided the timing? Layer 2 is the emotional payload, the final direct-to-camera message to his daughters, Billy and Georgia. In press summaries, that moment is described as unedited and intimate, the interviewer leaving him alone with the lens. It's powerful. It's also a rare thing in a celebrity ecosystem built on control. Layer 3 is the darker question nobody wants to ask out loud. When a platform owns the release, does the platform also shape the legacy? If you felt your last words were going to be packaged, would you speak differently? Would you leave clues? Would you try to take your story back? And that leads us to the only place we can stand safely, the evidence trail. Here's what we can verify without speculation. 1. The episode exists as part of Netflix's posthumous interview series Famous Last Words, released after Dane's death, with the premise that the interview only airs once the subject has passed. 2. Multiple outlets describe the final sequence as Dane speaking directly to camera, specifically addressing his daughters, Billy and Georgia. 3. The distribution is centralized. Official Netflix uploads, official Netflix pages, and secondary news coverage pointing back to that same source. Now, engagement check. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, hit like, because this is the difference between a rumor and a documented media event. The most unsettling evidence isn't a document, it's the timeline. A final message recorded months earlier, held in a vault of logistics and legal, and then released into the world when the subject can't clarify, contextualize, or push back. So we have to ask, what else was said in that room that the public will never hear? What was left on the cutting room floor? Attention reset. Don't let the emotion blur the investigation. Why was the interview held back in the first place? Purely by design or out of necessity? Who had custody of the raw footage between recording and release? What legal agreements governed what could be shown and what could never be shown? And if the final message was truly undeaded, where does that unedited segment begin and end? If this was about honoring him, why does it also feel like a perfect corporate mechanism? Grief, timing, and exclusivity locked together. Here's what can't be lost. Beyond the distribution strategy, there's a human being trying to leave something behind that can outlive noise. A father attempting to speak clearly once to the people who mattered most. Whatever you believe about the system, that intention is real. And the fact that millions witnessed it after he was gone is exactly why this case sticks in your throat. So, what did Eric Dane say before he passed? He left a final on-camera message meant for his daughters, recorded in advance, released after his death, and framed as his last public words. And the larger truth is harder. In modern Hollywood, even last words are a format, a product, a scheduled release. If you want part 2, where we map the exact chain of custody, official uploads, mirrored clips, and how raw footage gets reposted, retitled, and quietly edited across platforms, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next investigation isn't about what he said, it's about who gets to preserve it.